and welcome, everyone. Welcome to another Solution Sunday because the soul is the solution, the grand beings of light that we are, the non-physical beings, the souls that we are. I'm Lisa Warner. I'm the author of The Simplicity of Self-Healing and creator of Solution Sunday. And here we are today with my good friends, Trisha Schmalhofer and Rachel Ann. And today we are going to be talking about medicine in a way that probably you may not have heard for a while.
Forever.
Yeah, right. Rachel and Trisha, welcome.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks, Lisa.
Always good to be here.
I love having you guys here. It is so exciting. You all may remember Trisha from such episodes as last week's their song and the beautiful sound healing that she did, which is medicine for the soul. So medicine, what does medicine mean to you, ladies?
Well, for me, medicine is something that pushes me to promote healing within myself.
Yeah.
And it can be a variety of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Something that is a resource that aids me in coming into balance is what I consider medicine.
Yeah.
And I think, traditionally, traditionally is a weird word. So our current medical system, medicine has a different meaning than complementary medicine or herbal medicine, homeopathic medicine. I see nature medicine. So it's all aiding us to go into balance or into healing. But I think, in our frame of the structure of society, we think of medicine and we think of a pharmaceutical pill. But that's where our brain goes to, is I'm going to go to the doctor and get my medicine. And I've over time realized that that's not my medicine. And I'll use the phrase like, I'm going to go build a fire and sit by the fire, and that's good medicine for me. Mm-hmm. Or a conversation with a friend where he or she's helping me through something. I'm like, thank you for that medicine, because I feel better. Mm-hmm. Or back when I was a child, my mom would make chicken corn soup, the traditional family recipe. Mm-hmm. And that is what she gave me when I was sick. That was my medicine. Mm-hmm. Because it's not only was full of nutrients and minerals and vitamins, it was full of love. So, yeah.
That's good medicine.
That's good medicine.
Right? Yeah. Oftentimes, I actually had a conversation with a well-known doctor at one point years ago. And we were talking about medicine, and we were talking about, what people need. And he actually said to me, he goes, well, the very first medicine that people actually receive is when they make a decision to come see me. And I said, oh, I understand that, because that was the first step that they had made in their lives mentally. So mentally, they were choosing to get better. And I thought about that for a while, even though he was really big on giving options that I would not participate in. He was very right in that. And people do have to make that decision. I want to feel better. I want to put myself in better alignment. I want my body to feel at home with what's in my body, my soul, my being, my who I am. And so medicine has so many different layers to it that it's not always something tangible. It can also be something that we learn how to not think, or something that we learn to rethink, redesign, or an emotion that we choose to release. or an event that we go to in order to shift our consciousness. It can be such a variety of different things. And I think that people in that time period, when this man that I was speaking with, he was an older man, so it was a lot different going to a doctor probably than it would be for me now. And I think he was absolutely right in that moment. When somebody says, I'm going to go to the doctor, they're shifting their, ow, I don't feel good, this hurts, my body's hurting, to, I'm going to do something about this. And that's how they went about it. But there are other ways to go about it. Like, for me, if I have something going on with me these days and I have a pain, I try to address, I understand that my body brings on a physical ailment as a result of typically either something in my environment, a poison of some sort, that I'm exposing myself to, or a poor thought pattern that I have already preset within me, or that I've chosen to keep with me for some reason. And I'm usually grateful when I have something like that occur in my life, a symptom, as if you will. Like right now, I'm playing with my shoulder. My shoulder's been frozen oftentimes. I'm like, okay, how am I going to work with this? And it's not, I'm going to go get a pill because I want to be with myself. I want to explore myself. I want to understand myself. And this is part of me. And so somehow I've created something in my life that has made this portion of me not me. So I'm learning to bring it back to who I am, bring it back to that wholeness, back to the point that it's part of the whole and not something separate where I'm feeling pain in there. Mm-hmm. So that's my medicine that I'm dealing with right now. And I'm doing all kinds of different medical treatments for myself. I'm doing small movements, I'm doing meditations, nurturing nutrients, very healthy nutrients, what I'm eating, for inflammation, to assist in my diet. So there's a lot of different ways that we can address something that's out of alignment with ourselves with medicine.
Mm. Yeah. One of the biggest things that I've learned along my healing journey has been that pain equals healing. That when there's a pain in the body, it usually is the indication that the body is restructuring itself. And the healing is actually the hard part. The healing is the uncomfortable part, because it's literally the body rebuilding itself. And just like you rebuild a house, you hire the contractors, they come in and there's pounding and banging and noise and dust, and it's the dirty, messy part. And that's before it comes all back together and they can do all the finish work and you have this beautiful new kitchen or whatever it is. There's pain involved in that process. So the body does the same thing. It has to restructure itself when it is healing, because it's bringing itself back into balance, because it has gone off balance when we go off balance. When the mind goes in a direction that is not in alignment with the truth of the soul, the truth of who we are, then the mind goes one way. Well, the body has to go the other way to counterbalance, because the soul is always that alignment in the middle. So there's really nothing ever wrong with the body. It's the mind that goes a little funky. And we have to bring everything back into that center balance point.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking emotionally too. Emotions can be medicine. I keep hearing, I don't know who sang it. It was like an 80s rock song. Your love is like bad medicine. Right? But think about what that means though. Like, it's fun and funny, but it's like love. You're in a relationship, you have a heartbreak. That's medicine. That experience, that or loss, can be medicine. It's medicine is to soothe us and balance us, but sometimes medicine can come in, and sometimes things need to be alchemized and worked with and seen as, oh, it's a choice. Like, I'm going to choose this heartbreak to be my medicine, to actually open my heart further, rather than, oh my gosh, my heart's broken, that's it, I'm closing it down. It's a choice. And so, yeah, it's seeing, even moving it into seeing whatever's coming into our experience as, how can I turn this into medicine to help me grow and get into alignment, and maybe even deeper alignment within me than I was before. And in that sense, we can see everything as medicine, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's once you have the awareness and the ability to keep yourself in that space of being conscious and aware and living in your now, really helps to be able to see and be aware. The awareness brings you to so many deeper levels and abilities of growth within yourself. And consequently, not just within yourself, because when you're working and you're giving yourself good medicine, everything and everyone around you follows suit. They feel better. They're more, everything else is in more better, good English, more better alignment. Yeah, everything gets more better.
Right? And laughter is the best medicine, right?
Right. That's right.
Thank you.
It
Yeah,
absolutely
it really is.
Totally is.
Medicine creates dopamine and I'm going to forget all the other feel good ones. But there's all these, chemicals that get released when we are receiving medicine. Mm-hmm. A hug can be medicine. Yeah. It's causing us to feel a part of, feel connected, nourish us. Yeah, we were, herbs and plants and teas, all of that. It's like, it's all frequency, right? It's like, and if I'm in a dissonant state, if I'm off balance, it's being able to choose, what is my medicine right now at this point in time? I have some neck pain. You were talking about your shoulder, and all of the medicine that normally would work, massage, heat pack, cold pack, homeopathic medicine, meditating and dialoguing with my neck, we're doing energy medicine, sound medicine, it's still hanging on. So that's just showing me there's a deeper medicine. And it always reminds me, I've worked with dolphins with craniosacral therapy, and swimming with them with this intention of, they are my healers, they are my therapists, they're providing their medicine. And one of their messages to me was, everything you need is inside of you. And that branched off to, you are the medicine. Mm-hmm. I am the medicine. It's all in here. And yes, sometimes it's about meditating and going within to my inner physician, which is the term we use in craniosacral. Mm-hmm. It's, my medicine can be created in my body. There's cells in there that know how to build bone. There's cells that know how to boost this immune cell. There's communication, there's patterns, there's relationship, and it's all within me. And yes, sometimes I might be so out of alignment that it's hard for me to get back in to hear what is my medicine. And sometimes it is, we need this outside support in order to give some information or some nourishment or energy that's going to give my body, oh yeah, okay, I know how to do this. So with my neck not fully releasing, it's telling me I got to go even deeper in there to listen. What's my medicine for this? And it may be a good cry. In fact, that's what's coming up. A good cry is medicine. It's release.
For sure. And sometimes just going in allows you to be clear enough to see, oh, okay, I'm going to contact so and so because I think that that could help me. So sometimes that is the medicine of just being with yourself to know what the right decision is to move forward.
Yes. Making that choice.
Yeah, and we're so taught in this society to give up our power to doctors, to go look for some expert to fix it for us. But the real medicine is in here. Like, we can go and have other people help us, absolutely, but they're there to assist us. We're in charge the whole time. And we've just been taught to give up our power, that, oh, we're the victims of this thing that's happening to us and somebody else needs to fix us. And this is never true. It's always, the power is always inside. And it's the ability to tune in and discern what is the proper next steps for me.
And it's not always simple and clear either. It's, it means asking questions and getting quiet with yourself so you can get clear. Because when you enter into, even if you end up having to enter into the Western medical platform, then, you've got to have your list of questions there because we don't understand the lingo. They don't understand our lingo. We have to form a relationship that feels right with an alignment for both sides. And if it doesn't work, then there's other options. There's other ways. It's not to say that medicine can't be Western,
of course,
or shouldn't be Western, but know yourself and feel yourself and be able to ask those hard questions of yourself first, so then you can follow through and ask that person also, so that you get the best care that you're looking for.
Exactly. We're really taught to not question the experts. And, so many times I have Bella.
The
Who's
expert.
the guest today?
The other guest.
Dr. Bella.
Did you say expert?
And Solution Sunday, let's talk to Bella.
Yeah, we're so taught to give up our power to the experts. And there's so many times where I've heard people come to me and say, yeah, I had to do this or that or the other thing, and it didn't really feel right at the time, but that's what I had to do. I'm like, wait a second, if things don't feel right, this is you're the one that's in charge, and your body is telling you, your body is sending you signals all day, every day. And if it didn't feel right, if what the expert was telling you was like, ooh, it felt scary, it felt heavy, whatever it was, like, that's your body sending you a message. Like, and if you're not tuning into that message, you can go like way far down a rabbit hole that you really don't need to go down. But that would also then be the medicine of, wow, like, that was a hard lesson to learn, but now I know better. So, it's really all about learning to tune into ourselves and recognizing that we all have that power within us.
And discernment really is our greatest tool. With all of the resources we have, books and websites and everything, podcasts, and or even our own loved ones, oh, I have this issue. Oh, you need to do this. This worked for this person. And it's like all of this information, all of these choices. And if we're in deep enough pain, sometimes fear creeps in. And then it's like, if you're out of that alignment of that inner discernment, that inner peace, we could just listen to that one thing and do it. And we're not making that choice from here. And then all of a sudden you're having surgery and getting this cut out because you were afraid of what could happen, or because what this person told me happened to this other person. So, oh my gosh, I don't want that to happen to me. So I'm going to do this. Meanwhile, here's like 10 other solutions, 10 other types of medicine. You know, go out to the beach and get some sunshine and swim in the salt water. That's like the best medicine for me. It's all in one: negative ions, fresh air, water, or all the elements right there.
Right.
Maybe that's the first step of medicine, and then getting in there and deciding, is that my choice? So developing that inner knowing and that discernment piece, so we can navigate all of these solutions, all of these types of medicine that are out there, and which one's best for me at this point in time.
And that's exactly all you can do, is know what's best for you.
Yes.
For me, for, you know, at this point in time, every moment of now, because we really truly only have the now. Yes, there are consequences to our nows, but when you get solid and you do take that moment to say, okay, is this my choice? Am I feeling this? And it can go the opposite direction too. You can get swayed by something else. And, you know, I know people who needed heart care, and had they not received it, they wouldn't be alive now.
That's
And
right.
they said, you know, they lived a very natural life, and on a level where they didn't partake in a lot of pharmaceutical and things like that, but they still knew something wasn't right, and I need help. I need bigger help than I'm getting right now, because they went inside and they knew that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's important to know, that there's both sides of the spectrum, and then there's the balance within you to make that choice that's right for you, and don't make it in fear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it is scary. It's so scary to have things not be in alignment. It's very scary. I've had problems, you know, in my physical body, and I've been terrified, like, oh my God, what is this? And when you step back, and I've learned tools, the most important thing for anybody to have in their medicine cabinet is your own personal tools. And number one tool is, where do you go when you start feeling fear? What do you do when you start feeling fear? Well, a lot of people go and drink a bunch of alcohol or pop some kind of pill or whatever, but that's not helping, because that's not allowing you to be clear in making the actual conscious choice that you need to make in order to move forward and to actually heal. You're masking. And when you're masking, it's just going to come up in different ways. Yeah. It's going to keep going, hey, hey. Or over here, it'll say, hey, hey, instead of making the choice and seeing from within what you really truly need to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really sad that we have been taught to fear our own bodies. You know, our body is just another aspect of ourselves. And, you know, so many of our choices have been traditionally, for hundreds of thousands of years, made on fear, trying to avoid something, or, you know, and I remember Anita Morjani's book Dying to Be Me, where she left her body, went to the other side, and she was like, oh, I get it. It's either love or fear. I've been choosing from fear this whole time. Hey, let me go back and let me choose from love. Let me do the opposite. And when she came back into her body, she was like, I got this. I know I can trust my body now. I know what's been going on here. I see the pattern that had been running. And it was so inspiring to read that book. And you know, I've always remembered that, you know, fear is the illusion, fear is the false evidence appearing real. And realizing that, you know, we have the power, and our bodies are brilliant, our bodies are so strong, so resilient.
Yeah.
We need to learn that.
And we can use that too as a medicine as well. We can use that fear, that whatever it is that drives us to that place of fear, we can use that as a fuel to seek and to go deeper and to help ourselves find, what it is that will help that, instead of looking at it as like fear, I'm frozen. I tend to, when I start feeling fear creep in, I'm like, okay, here's my fuel. And it starts igniting me and it starts getting me motivated to find what it is that's going on. What's actually going on? What is real versus what is not real? What's the illusion here? What is my mind taking over here that it's trying to mess with me? Or sometimes it's not my mind. Sometimes it's something else, something exterior outside of myself. And I'm allowing it to put me in a state of fear. But again, going back into that awareness, take it back to now. Because typically when we start feeling fear or anxiety, we're looking forward futuristically, or we're looking back at a past mistake or a past something that's not gone properly. So if you take it to the now, that's where you're going to find what you need. That's where you're going to find that space of silence, that space of content, that space of now. And that's where the medicine truly lies for the next step to take place. And it's kind of almost between the now and the next step, like that little special magic space in between now and the next step is where there's big power. And when we harness that and hold our own with that without being scattered all over the place and controlled by fear of something outside or something inside our minds, then that's when we're going to find the most powerful medicine for ourselves.
There's so many things I want to say, but I think what that just brought up, Rachel, is the whole placebo effect.
Yeah.
It's taking a sugar pill, and my family doctor, Doc Solomon, who we went to for everything, right? Back when I was a kid, I had a stomach ache and he gave my mom some pills for my stomach ache, and it was a sugar pill. Like, I know that now, but my stomach ache went away. And they do studies like that where they're getting this medicine or sugar pill, and it's that mental, this is going to help me. The fear then goes. Yeah. So even shifting that to sitting out in my yard watching the birds is going to help me. Like, it's that mental decision that this is it. This is the medicine. So yeah, it's interesting. They're doing a lot of studies on the placebo and how that's, people are getting cured of these intense disorders because they believe that this is going to help them. The mind is very powerful. Exactly. And the body follows the mind.
Yes.
The body directs the mind. And so the more that we are in alignment and talking and focusing on, the positive of what's going to heal, or if something really yucky is happening, saying, okay, how can I turn this into something that's going to help me grow? I think that's really key. And can I talk about the other thing? Did anyone want to say anything to that? Because I have something to share. I'm going to just share it. You talked to Lisa about, I think in the standard American society, it's like you go to the doctor, you get the pill, or you go to the drugstore and you get the over the counter. And that's what happens if your sinuses, or you have sinusitis, or you have that. Well, if you go to other cultures, or I used to have families with grandmas that would just, oh, you have that going on here. They'd pick a leaf from something in a pot on their kitchen shelf. They'll boil some water and make a tea and add some little special family remedies in there. And here you go, honey. It depends on the frame of, even if we were raised this certain way, to think this way, knowing like all of these other cultures out there have different ways of looking at medicine and helping us balance for pretty much everything. And, just a simple stomach ache. Oh my God, what could this be? This could be this or this or this. Maybe you just need some peppermint tea, or maybe you need to eat, I don't know, it could be, or rub some castor oil, do a castor oil pack, or rub something on there, or take a bath. It's not going to that emergency state with every little thing we're feeling. That
I have a perfect example of that.
Okay, good.
So my son was just on the floor in pain. Oh, it hurts so bad. It hurts so, oh my God, he's in tears. He's hurting so bad. I'm like, well, what do you need? I don't know. It hurts so bad. Should I take you to the doctor? Do you need it? Are you that hurt? And it's something in your gut and you don't know. I don't know. I can't see in there. I don't know. I didn't know. So he's like, I don't know. He's crying. So I take him to the hospital and we get admitted into the emergency room, and he has massive gas and he's better. He's all better.
Have to pass gas. That's the first thing my grandma would say. Did she poop today? Because maybe that's it. Maybe she just didn't poop. And so the intestines are cramping up. It's not.
So, yeah. So he got into a space. He was scared. Something's wrong. I'm scared. Something's wrong. Yes, take me to the doctor. Take me to the hospital. He gets to the hospital. He feels like he's okay. I'm in the hospital. I'm fine. So I can release now.
Yeah.
Better.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really sad that we have been taught to fear our bodies. So, like, our initial reaction is, oh my gosh, what's wrong? This is bad. And we go right into fear.
Yeah.
This is why, I really love being able to teach people, that their body's got their back, that their body is naturally self-healing. We don't need to fear our bodies ever. And that's really powerful. The placebo effect just proves that the body can heal itself. But we have to trust that that's what's happening. And because we've been taught to distrust our own bodies, then, now we need the pills to try to make us better. When in fact, if we learned actually to just trust our body, we would 90% of the time, we would just be able to know, oh, my body is actually healing. All right, what else can I do to support my body through this? Can I drink some tea? Can I take a warm bath? Can I go swim in the ocean? What is it that's going to make me feel better? What will allow my body to relax and release?
And our body goes through cycles. Sorry, Rachel, but our body goes through its own patterns and cycles that reflect nature. Exactly. Our bodies are nature. Our bodies are earth. So getting to know maybe some anatomy and physiology and what are the biorhythms of the body. Maybe there's certain times of the month. I know for women, we understand this, but in general, the body goes through different cycles. So it's getting to know and work with and having a relationship with our body and with nature. I mean, the Taoists, we look at the moon cycle, we look at the seasons, it's just getting to know our body in all those ways and understanding what's your cycles, what's your rhythms. And when this shows up, what's happening in your life? Is there other things going on that might be contributing to this physical sensation? May not have anything to do with the actual physical body. It might be, it's stress, it's a relationship, it's a job. Getting to know our own cycles and honoring that we are nature.
Yeah.
And everything that you put into your body, everything, even the thoughts you put in, it's either a medicine or a poison. There's no real in between. The food that we eat, know your food, know what you're eating. Don't just eat for the sake of eating, and know that eat because you actually need the nutrient. Don't just eat for the fun of it. I mean, sometimes I eat for the fun of it, but I try to give myself whole foods and nurture and take care of myself. I think we've all kind of grown away as a society from taking care of our bodies because we're so busy taking care of everything outside of ourselves that we don't have that automatic reflex anymore to take care of ourselves. And if we don't take care of ourselves, nobody else is going to do it, first of all, but we're not going to be able to take care of anything else once the body starts to fail.
Yeah.
And that's where, that's where the now, your mind, remember to nourish yourself. Remember to take care of yourself. Know what you're eating. Know what that food is.
That's huge because people don't realize. I mean, so many people don't realize that the majority of the food in the grocery store isn't actually food. Like it's not real food. It's just a whole bunch of chemicals and it's actually poison.
And then also on top of that though, and I love to be the devil's advocate on that, is like, even if you find yourself in a situation where you are hungry and all you have is some food that you wouldn't typically eat, just, it's okay. You don't need to be fearful of it either. Oh, it's okay. I'm gonna have this. It's okay. That's not what I do all the time. I'm okay, body, it's okay. And that follows for anything, anything happening that might be out of the norm. It's okay. We're going to be okay here.
Right? Yeah. Having gratitude that you have that food right then to sustain, and putting that gratitude and positive energy into the food. And there's not, they say like drink water, get good sleep, move your body. I mean, these are like just basic medicines that we're like, oh yeah, but what about this over here, this fancy schmancy new thing, that's this new cool thing that's going to heal my body? But are you drinking enough water? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you eating, making the best choices for food? Are you doing your stress relief? Are you sitting in stillness? Like, these are just your basics that would be considered medicine. A glass of water could be considered medicine. To me, sometimes that's what I need to balance. It's as simple as that. Drink some water.
Every morning. That's your best medicine. Put your own power into your own glass of water and drink it back in.
I've been doing that. Exactly.
Yeah. And movement, the simple things that we have to have in order to survive. Shelter, that's medicine. Your body temperature, cleanliness, hygiene. These are all medicines to your degree of what's right for you. Movement. How many of us have to sit at jobs where we don't move all day long in a chair? Get up, stand up. I used to have a little buzzer on my phone, or a little alarm on my phone when I had to do office work, and I would make myself get up and I would walk around and I would do this and do that, and then I would sit back down and get back to it, because I knew my body needed that, and it was very harmful for me to not be able to move around.
Exactly.
So can I show you this big hunk of medicine right in front of me?
Yeah.
Look at this quartz crystal.
Ooh,
now that's medicine.
Right.
Right. This was gifted to me by a dear friend, and it's just powerful. So this is part of nature also. And whatever some people are into crystals, some people aren't. It's what we are attracted to, what we're drawn to. But yeah, getting into that space in here where we know, where we discern. And I received very clearly to put this hunk of crystal right in front of me during this podcast. So that's not usually where it is.
Love that. The crystals have their own frequency.
They do.
And, when we're out of alignment and we've got disharmonious frequencies in our bodies, in our energy fields, those crystals can help bring the frequency back into coherence. We are non-physical beings. We're really taught, we're taught to look in the mirror and like, this is who I am. No, this is the body vehicle that I am traveling in. I am the non-physical being. And we're not taught to notice the non-physical stuff. We're not taught to notice energy. And everything is energy. So we've never been taught how to clear and balance our energy fields. I mean, that's probably the most powerful medicine right there, is to be able to manage your own energy field. So you clear it and clean it and balance it on a daily basis. Because what's in our energy field is being reflected by the physical stuff, whether it's your physical body or your physical life. The physical stuff is the reflection of the non-physical. So learning to manage the non-physical aspects of ourselves is so important when it comes to health.
You know what just came up for me is breath.
Mm-hmm.
Such simple medicine right there. And even like you mentioned, clearing the energy field. A lot of times, if I feel gunky, I'll take a deep breath and then I send it out through my heart into my field. And I picture that mental imagery, right? My field getting clear. And breath is right there at all times.
Breath
We
is
do that in any situation. And it takes
our life force.
It's our life force. It's our chi. It's our prana.
Mm-hmm.
It's the ether. It's so many things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's our best medicine right there.
Exactly. It brings us present into our bodies. We can use that breath of life to inhale and fill the body, let all the cells inhale that oxygen, that living life force energy, and really utilize that breath as a healing tool for sure. Because when we get shocked, when we get traumatized, we actually get knocked out of our physical body, and we don't realize that we're not even in our body. And then we're like in the future and in the past, and what's happening, what's going on, what am I going to do, I don't know what to do, and we're not even in the body. So in order to get present and utilize that energy, just be present in the body, because sometimes the body is just going, hello, are you coming home? Hello. It's just sending us some signals like, hey, you forgot about me here.
Mm-hmm. And the easiest way to do that is to focus on your breath for a few minutes. Breathe in. That's really, really simple.
It is.
And it does, it brings your nervous system to a state of relaxation, especially if you're breathing through your nose, because the life force, the prana, hits your olfactory first, and then that is like instant to the brain and the nervous system, and it's like, here I am, I'm alive, okay.
Right. And it's like if we actually just breathed, closed our eyes, and asked, in this moment, am I okay? Just right now in this breath, am I okay right now? And 99% of the time, the answer is yeah, right this second, I'm okay. But most of the time, we're so in our minds in the past and the future. We're like, oh my God, this is terrible. It's like, no, come right here, right now, and notice I'm okay. I am okay.
It does take some rewiring,
Yes.
because we've all been in those stages where what's happening, this is happening, this is happening. And now, after personally rewiring myself, now I know, okay, when I start feeling like this, my body has all kinds of signs to show me tension. That's number one. Dense, something's hurting. I've trained myself to breathe. That's the number one thing. Stop, pause, be present, and move on from there. And who knows where you're going to be taken from there, but that's the point. That's the point where you find it. Find what the medicine is for you.
Breath brings movement. And there was a saying, the difference between fear and excitement is the breath. Because when we're in fear, it's like, we're not breathing, nothing's moving, it's all just frozen in there. And then you take a breath and realize, oh wait, this could be excitement, it's something new, it's something different, it shifts the mindset to that present moment. And that's where what we're talking about, that discernment, that inner knowing, it's in that moment. And then once we're there and the breath takes it there, or the breath you can bring healing to any area of the body with breath. In that moment, there is where you can discern and make your next step, your next choice. Because it almost, like in my mind, when I really get into it, it kind of clears all the overwhelm, all of that static, all of those, oh my God, I have all these choices. Let's get into that center, take the breath, and then look, what's the next step coming from there? Because that's the correct one, because it's yours from that aligned space. But like you said, I mean, it takes practice. We have to remind ourselves when we're in pain or we're in overwhelm, we have to remind ourselves, oh, let me breathe. Let me come in here. Let me take a minute. And that's, yeah, it's practice.
It is not not too hard to achieve that, because once your body realizes that, then it reminds itself. So it only takes a couple of times to remember to go back to breath. And your body's like, okay, what did I do before? Oh yeah, I breathe. Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm good. Let's go, breath, go.
Exactly. And when we take the time to take that conscious breath, we can also connect to the earth, and we can notice that Mother Earth is beneath our feet. She's a solid foundation. Our bodies are also of the earth, and we can tap into the earth, and we can allow Mother Earth to support us. There are so many other elements that can support us: the earth, the air, the fire, the water, the angelic realms. There are so many other means of support that we don't notice with our physical eyes. But when we close our eyes and we take that breath and we just simply allow ourselves to become aware, like, we have help from so many different places that we can ask for assistance. We can ask for guidance.
Our ancestors, our loved ones that have passed, our cosmic ancestors, going up, I'll do meditation up to the upper world, into where I consider home. And I'll get like energy work from, my family up there. And it's like, sometimes that's the medicine I need. So we're all of it. We're these multidimensional beings. And so the medicine can be from any of those places, within, without, it's all the same. There really is no direction. But yeah.
Yeah. The key is to just allow yourself to find what's right for you. Exactly. And not be pushed into a certain direction.
And trust it.
Yes. Trust the process. Because, even situations where you find yourself in a group of people and they're squabbling, I find myself just kind of receding back into myself a little further and going, oh, this is good medicine for me. Oh, this person's doing this. Well, this is even better medicine for me. This is showing me that I can act this way, or I can make these choices, or I can do this. And then the consequence isn't this. And I mean, there's a million different layers to what the medicine might be, just from a simple situation. And you can take it as deep as you want, or as light as you want. Sometimes I just, you guys are really funny. Bye.
See you later. Sometimes if I'm in a situation like that, I think, well, now I'm clear what I don't want. And sometimes that's the medicine. Like, this is not the relationship I want to be in. And I'm seeing it very clearly. Thank you for that medicine. Yeah, exactly.
The perfect teachers, the what not to do teachers. Those are awesome.
Exactly. Yes. Yep. Ah, what a great conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
And that sound, that frequency that we were talking about last week, Trisha, is
Mhm.
beautiful medicine of that gong
Mhm.
that has the vibration that we can allow all of our molecules to bring themselves back into harmony.
Totally. I mean, any song, music on the radio, humming, I mean, we even talk about like doing mantras or
Yeah.
singing yourself. The vibration that we create with our own vocal cords is medicine for our body. But drums and rattles and bells and
I
any
just heard a bird.
there sound, it's medicine, all
Yeah.
of it. We're surrounded by help, you know, but we have to believe it and look for it and become aware of it and take it as that, be grateful for it and take it in and see it as medicine.
Yeah. I think Rob Bresney says the universe is set up in as a means of pronoia, meaning that it's conspiring to assist and uplift you in all ways. And if you pay close enough attention, everything is speaking to you.
Everything.
Everything.
Yep. That's how I live my life, exactly like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, I think it's just really important for all of us to really become aware that there's so many options, so many more things than we're just told and sold on the daily basis. It's really easy to just, follow the rules and do what we're told, and watch the TV and like, oh, there's the answers, there's the pills. It's like,
Ask questions. Yeah.
exactly.
That's
Yeah.
something little kids are taught at a young age. I noticed when I first started learning about journey work, it was really hard for me to ask questions, and you go into the other realms and you're like, and I, at first I was like, I'm seeing all these things, and my teacher was like, ask questions. And little kids are told to be quiet. Shh,
Exactly.
quiet.
Right.
No, I don't do that very well.
I didn't listen.
Right? Like,
I
don't
got a lot of
question the
trouble for that.
teacher.
I
Yeah.
talked all the time. My hand was always up. Yeah. Even in the Catholic, I was
Ah,
raised in Catholic school and I don't understand that. Why is it like that?
yeah,
And sometimes teachers didn't like that too much, but I just always just was like, I want to know why, you
yeah,
know? So yeah, ask the questions.
Exactly.
And not everything on TV is bad,
Oh, it's not as bad. That,
sometimes I'll discern, well, we look at TV, the general media, and yes, there's a lot on there that I prefer
programming,
not to
for sure.
dip into. But sometimes that'll be the medicine. It's like, oh, it'll come into my mind. I contemplate a lot. If something's not right, I'll sit and I'll contemplate something and I'll kind of chew on it and play with it. And I kind of invite the universe to give me some guidance. And sometimes it's a movie. It might be a movie title. It's like, oh, there's something in this movie that I need to see that's going to give me an answer. It's going to give me some guidance on this. And it might be a movie I've seen before. It might be a movie I haven't seen, but I'm always, as I'm watching the movie, I'm open to that. Well, this is where my inner guidance has led me. So what's the medicine here? Oh, there's that character, or there's a situation, or there's, a song in the movie. And so I think even if we're subject to something that normally wouldn't be considered medicines, like say you're in I don't know, you're somewhere and someone's watching something. When I go visit my dad, he insists on watching certain shows. And I'm like, I can only take so much of this, Dad, but I want to spend time with him.
Mhm.
And that's what he's doing. And I'll it's almost like becomes a game. What's my medicine in this? You know, we're watching cops, we're watching like, you know, murder shows or whatever. And I'm like, where's my medicine? You know, like, where's Waldo? Where's my medicine? Because this is where I'm choosing to be right now, because what's taking priority is the love of my father. And then I want to spend time with him. It's not something I'd choose to watch, but this is what's in front of me. So how can I get medicine out of this? And I always find something. And then I'll say, okay, Dad, had my fill, gonna go read my book or go take a walk. Yeah. So again, it's our frame of mind.
Yeah. You know, and just our state of awareness, you know, our willingness to just open to our higher level awareness, looking beyond the surface. Like you say, where's the medicine? Like, what do I need to know from this? What can I get from this that's beyond just the surface stuff?
Yeah, not being afraid to be who you are. Knowing who you are is key to being able to be discerning. You know, if you know who you are and you know that what's good for you isn't necessarily good for someone else or vice versa, then you're able to put yourself in positions that are more conducive to what you need for your personal nourishment, so that maybe you can see what's medicine and what's poison much easier.
You know, this is another point. A client of mine voiced this to me. He said, I kind of have an issue with this idea of we need medicine, because aren't we perfect and whole the way that we are? And it actually got me thinking about it, like, because I've been using that term a lot, like, you are the medicine. Where's the medicine? What's the medicine? But it gets us thinking that our bodies really are perfect. If we really do have everything we need inside of us, maybe even just keeping that mindset of I am whole and perfect exactly where I am right now. And sometimes I need a little assistance to like solidify that, or to help me feel. I think a lot of it's really for our mind. I think our body's fine. Honestly,
Exactly.
I think our body really is perfect, a perfectly organic machine, or whatever you want to call it. It is a sacred temple, living being, in my opinion. But I really think, you know, now I'm really sitting with this. I think the medicine's for our mind more than our bodies, because our bodies really are perfect.
Yeah.
Our souls are already perfect.
That was one of the things I discovered on my healing journey. All of a sudden, you know, kind of the information dropped. I kept asking, what do I need to know about this in order for it to change? And all of a sudden, one day when I finally got my mind to quiet enough, the information dropped in. I was like, hey, Lisa, your body's not being attacked by some disease. Your body is functioning exactly the way it's designed to function. There's not a single thing wrong with it. It's mirroring your consciousness. It's mirroring all of those self-devaluing thoughts, all of the shame and the guilt and the doubt and the fear and all of that, blah, 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 that's going on in here. It's telling you what's going on in here. It's what's going on in here that you need to address. Your body's fine.
And that's so key about what's going on in here in the mind. And I tell my yoga students, you know, when we finally get into our selves, we settle in, and I say, you know, you're going to have thoughts. How do you know that you're thinking? What is that part of you that can see that you're thinking? Go into that part of you, because that's the real you, not the thoughts.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm taking my water medicine right now.
There you go. And it matches your background perfectly.
It does, doesn't it? I like this concept that all medicine's really mind medicine. That's just something interesting I'm going to start contemplating. That it's, yeah. So even drinking water, yes, this is nourishing my body. My body is already mostly water, and I'm just helping its functions. But my mind even saying, oh, you really should drink water. You haven't drank water in a while. Now I'm drinking it. It's appeasing my mind. I don't know. I'm just kind of,
our minds are so powerful. They are so powerful.
It is.
Yep. And they've been programmed to believe a lot of things that are not actually true, which just creates states of chaos and confusion in the mind. And then the body just mirrors that. You know,
Yeah.
like, oh, there's a problem. Well, let me help you over the problem. Let me do something to make sure that you can live through the problem. So the body morphs and changes all day, every day, according to what's going on in our mind. So it's really important to understand what the body is doing so that we can start to hear the messages of the body. You know, what messages do the shoulders send? What messages does the neck send? What messages does the belly send? You know, like, what is that? Because each part of our body is designed to send specific messages, to process specific energies. And when we know the biological laws and we understand which parts of the body do what to address what's going on mentally, then we can simply look at the body and go, oh, well, here are the thought patterns that I need to look at. Here are the conflicts going on in my mind that need to be addressed and cleared so that I can return to peace. And it's really very simple when we start to actually understand what's going on with our bodies and get out of that fear response of, oh no, there's something wrong with me. It's not true.
So
that's the medicine.
That's the medicine. So what do what's each of you, like Rachel, what's your go-to when you are in overwhelm or fear? Like, do you have a go-to practice that gets you in alignment?
I'll do breath work. I'll find quiet. And if I can't find quiet, I've done it in the middle of an airport before. I've plopped right down and done my breath work, and I don't care. But I start out with what I've been taught is Kapalabhati, which is cleansing breath. Some people call it fire breath. It's a series of exhales, and that cleanses me. It also activates my Kundalini in my spine, and it brings my body to alignment, and my energy in my body to alignment, and I can feel it happening, and I can feel the draw of the energy, bringing my energy upwards in my body and in my being. And then I follow up with analoma viloma, which is alternate nostril breathing. And that balances the opposites in my body, bringing me to a less polar state. Because I think that when I'm out of alignment, it's always based on being polarized. And when I start to look at the world as a polarized space, that's when I fall out of alignment. Because I come from a belief system of mine, and my belief system is that everything is created by divine. Everything is divine. Everything is divine. The good, the bad, the ugly, the happy, the sad, the pretty, all of it's divine. But when I fall away from remembering that, then I kind of feel a little wiggly.
Lisa, do you have a go-to?
Similar to Rachel, I don't always do, I mean, breathing is really important. But one of the things that I do is I notice my energy field, and I think in terms of electromagnetic energy, so about charged energies. And so fear and guilt and doubt and shame and anxiety, those are all very charged energies. They've got a lot of magnetic charge to them. So when I notice that I'm in fear or any of those, I close my eyes, I look at the energy and gather it up like a ball, and then I gather that up and I transmute it, and I clear my energetic space to return to neutral, get rid of all that charge, or just use my grounding cord to let everything ground off.
Mm-hmm. Great.
How about you?
I'm thinking, I think my go-to, yeah, breath for sure, but I tend to go within, like through the fascia webs. Like I'll go into my core. I'll kind of just set myself there and I'll breathe into it. And then I may start to listen and I'll dialogue with myself. It's like, okay, you're okay. Everything's fine. In this moment, everything's fine. I'd say that's probably my main one. Sometimes it might be to move though, take a walk, like just simply take a walk and then in that breathe and go within and see what's coming in my path if I'm able to. But if I'm in a space like where I can't take a walk, yeah, I go in, I journey inward and look for the calm and the answers and listen.
I love that because all answers really are within. We are powerful beings. We are grand creator beings who basically have amnesia. Humanity has forgotten who we are for a very long time. But now we're all waking back up, and now we're remembering, we're starting to realize that we are grand beings of light and that we are powerful and that our light and our love is our power, that we can use that for the good and we can create anything, including the health that we desire.
Yep. Our most vibrant lives.
Exactly. We're here to create heaven on earth, to restore this beautiful planet, to restore these beautiful bodies, to recognize that these bodies are far stronger, far more resilient than we've ever been allowed to know. And we have far greater capacities than we've ever been allowed to know. So I am so grateful to be here on this journey with the two of you and really bringing new awareness back to this planet. So it's such an honor and a blessing. Thank you both so much for this wonderful conversation today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Yes, and thank you everyone for watching today. It is always a pleasure to bring you Soulution Sunday because the soul is the solution. You are a grand being of light. You have the power within you. All your answers are right in here. Take time, sit, breathe, and become aware of who you truly are, because that's the real medicine. So thank you so much for joining us this week for Soulution Sunday. Next week, our guest will be Keith Leon S. of the movie The Inside Effects, How the Body Heals Itself, coming to a computer screen near you on July 8th. So stay tuned for that. So ladies, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a real pleasure. Trisha, where can people find you if they'd like to reach out to you?
Website is medhealers.com and email is medhealersinfo@gmail.com.
Beautiful.
And Rachel, how do people reach out to you?
I have a website, Rachel, RACHEL-ANN.com. All the information's there.
Beautiful. And you can find more about me at connectingyoutoyou.com. Thank you so much, ladies. Until next week, create for yourselves a great week. Bye for now.
Bye for now.